Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me at Crawl Air. My name is Beverley Theresa. Today we're going to be talking about social media marketing hacks and tricks. And I like to put hacks and tricks in quotation marks because we all know that there's nothing that we can do to make ourselves an overnight success on social media. It is a long game. It's definitely not an overnight type of thing, but I wanted to show you some of the tools and tactics and strategies that actually exist to help you step it up a little bit. And just to let you know, some of these are kind of on that gray line. They walk the fence of ethical versus unethical. But again, this is just for educational purposes, showing you that these things do exist. Whether you implement them is up to you. Definitely don't implement them on your client accounts. It's something more to play around with on your own accounts and see how it works. And if they don't work, they don't work. But it's definitely something outside of the box that you can try. So just to start with, just a little bit about myself. My name again is Beverley Theresa. I'm a social media strategist and consultant, and I'm based in Edmonton, Alberta, which is in Canada. I started the social media department at one of my province's largest digital marketing agencies a few years ago, actually. And then after 2 years, I got a lot of people wanting to work with me directly. So I left there and started my own company called Throwdown Social Media. And since starting my own company about, I think like 3 years ago. Wow, it's a long time. I've worked with some really great clients, international, national clients, and I've just been really hashtag blessed to be working with these clients. So but that's just a little bit about myself. You can find me online at hellobeverly.com or on social media at hellobeverly on everything. Today, we're going to be talking about finding email addresses and why you should be collecting email addresses, how you can use them, why that's important. Playing with automation. Again, there's a lot of tools and apps that exist out there and websites that will help you step up your social media marketing. Whether you use them, again, is totally up to you. Things that you can implement immediately. So right after this presentation, right after this session, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and make the changes to your website, make the changes to your accounts right away. And then just some things to keep in mind and a kind of a little disclaimer, and you'll see why as we go through this presentation. So if you're in marketing or if you've ever worked with a social media person before, you're probably used to seeing these best practices. And again, they're best practices because that's just it. Like they work for the majority of companies on social media and they're the best. And it's basically like something that you want to follow if you want to increase engagement, increase your followers, increase your sales from social media and your conversions. So making sure that you do follow these. I'm going to go over them really quickly and then we'll get into the hacks and tricks. So this is just setting the foundation. So making sure you're consistent on social media. The last thing you want is someone going to your Facebook page, your company's Facebook page, and being like, oh, they haven't updated in like 4 months. Is this still a company? Like, why haven't they updated their page? Are they still in business? And being consistent basically also helps your audience know when they can expect to hear from you. Sharing quality content. So this is another one. You're probably like rolling your eyes right now, Beverley. We've already heard all of this, but quality versus quantity. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to post on Instagram 4 times a week, 5 times a week, but if you don't have anything to post of quality, or if you don't have anything quality to post, don't bother posting. Social media is not about just filling time boxes. It's more about posting that quality content that will engage and be valuable to your users or your audience. And then including a piece of media with whatever you're sending out. So some sort of visually appealing piece of media, whether that's a photo or a video or something else. And don't forget to engage. So keeping the social in social media, because it's called social media for a reason. So making sure you're social on it. So if someone's commenting on your business's posts, making sure you're commenting back, making sure you're handling kind of the customer service end of things using social media, and also investing in advertising. So the whole thing is with social media is you can take your time and your company or your time and resources to engage with people, or you can invest in advertising, but you'll get the you'll get the best. This is what I get for talking too fast. You'll get the best of both worlds if you do invest in engagement and you invest in advertising. Like nowadays, social media definitely isn't free and you definitely want to have a marketing budget. This is really cheesy, but I wanted to include it in my slides because we're going to be thinking outside of the box. But this image that I found online actually makes sense. So don't think outside the box, think like there is no box. Or another one is don't think outside the box, be the box. Just be the box, just zen it out. But what you want to do is like, a lot of companies look the same as other companies, especially like within industries. A specific company will look exactly like their competitor on social media. And it's like, there's nothing special about you. There's nothing special that you're doing. So making sure you're doing something special, so you're standing out amongst the crowd. And so people are choosing you over the competition. So it's really just like thinking outside of the box, being different, getting creative. So right now we're going to talk about finding emails. And if you are into email marketing, you know why emails are important. I'm not going to explain it to you really, but I'll show you some things that you might not know that you can do with emails. The first part is finding those email addresses. So actually having digital email addresses that you can use in your lists. There's a tool called Hunter for Firefox. There's also Hunter, I believe, for Chrome. It's just a little extension that you install on your browser basically, and you go to a URL or you input a URL and it will crawl or mine that website for emails. So for example, if you put in my URL hellobeverley.com, they'll look on that domain for whatever emails exist, and you'll see that Beverley at hellobeverley.com is actually an email address that appears. So that's a quick way to get email addresses from a website. If there's more than one, so that's like the main email address that I use for everything. So if there had been more than one, so maybe there was team at hellobeverley or hello at hellobeverley.com, they would also appear in this search as well. So it's really easy. You just take the domain that you're looking to find the email contact addresses for, and then you plug that in and it'll spit out what the tool finds on the website. If the previous way doesn't work, there's also a spreadsheet. And if you do want this spreadsheet, send me an email. My email will be at the end of this presentation. I can send it to you or share it with you. Basically, what you do is you fill in the first name, and then you fill in the middle name or last name, and you put in the domain. And what it does, it will spit out all of these different variations of typical email addresses. So simple, basic, backwards, dashes, that type of thing. And then if you're really trying to contact someone at a business, you would basically email, probably BCC, this entire list of the emails in the green column. And then one of them has to go to a successful email address or a successful inbox, hopefully one of them. Why do we want to collect email addresses besides email marketing having a higher conversion rate? It's just, if you want to contact someone at a company and you don't have their contact information, like say you did a Google search, this is another way you can do so to collect those email addresses. One way you can use those email addresses you collect is, if you don't want to like be cold emailing them or something like that, is go into Twitter. In the top menu, tap your profile icon, then tap settings and privacy. And then under discoverability and contacts, you just tap discoverability and contacts, and then tap sync address book contacts. When you sync your contacts from your device's address book will be uploaded to Twitter on an ongoing basis. And the counts of contacts from your address book who are already on Twitter will be shown. So that's how you find them on Twitter, and you can just follow them. This is really an easy way to do it versus trying to search for the person's first and last name plus Twitter in Google or something like that. Another way you can use it, if you're familiar with Facebook advertising, is you can upload the list as a customer list under your Facebook Ads Manager. You can also, this is how you would do it. Just go to custom audience, choose customer list, and then you would upload it, or you can import it if you use MailChimp, that type of thing. But you can basically dump all of the email addresses you found, put them in an Excel spreadsheet, and then upload them here. You can also create a lookalike audience. So basically Facebook will take that email address, find those users on Facebook if they're registered with that email address, and create a lookalike audience of people who have similar interests or of similar demographics to those people. And then you can create an ad and market to those people. If you want to use it on LinkedIn, you can also upload a company list. And for best practices, LinkedIn actually says we recommend uploading at least 1,000 companies. To match your list to your companies, we require at least one of the following: company name, company website, company email domain. So you can definitely upload a company or contact list. And again, with the email list, contact list, we recommend uploading at least 10,000 contacts. And you will have to have their email address or first and last name, mobile device, or their Google user ID. So there's a bunch of different ways you can use email addresses on LinkedIn, or even if you have their Google user ID. And I'm not like a Google person, so I don't know how you would even get their user ID. So that's interesting to me. Playing with automation, again, there's a lot of tools out there that are fully automated that take the legwork out of doing everything yourself. So this is just a Chrome app. It's called Twitter Follower, and it's a Twitter extension for Chrome. And basically it will mass follow, like, and retweet. On the right hand side there, you see the options that you can select while you're actually on your Twitter feed. So you can follow all those people, like all the posts within something, unfollow all, unlike all, unretweet all. I've actually used this tool before with my own personal account when there was a big digital marketing conference happening and people were tweeting about it. I just went to that, I searched for the hashtag, and I looked at all of the tweets that were being published around that hashtag. And then I got this tool to actually like everyone who was tweeting about that conference. You can also do the same for, let's say, you're a company and you know that your clients, like maybe you're a home reno company or something like that, and then all your clients are going to a home renovation event and they're like tweeting about it. You can look at the hashtag for that home reno thing, the home reno event, and then just get this tool to like all of those posts. And basically people will be like, why are they liking my posts? Who are these? Who is this company? And they'll go and check out your profile. So that's another easy like hack you can do. This is just an example. So you basically navigate to a list of things that you want to check out or you want them to like. And this is just from my home page. And I thought this screenshot was funny because the Twitter extension was going down my Twitter feed and just liking different tweets. And then the tweet here says, just found a friend of mine grows her armpit hair, then cuts it to use it as a material to make dishcloths. And I was like, this is too funny not to include in my presentation. So this app actually ended up liking that tweet. So again, if you're using it for your business, definitely something that you want to take into consideration, that all of the tweets that you're liking aren't all going to be appropriate. Another Chrome app is called Superpowers for Twitter. Basically, it's very similar to that previous extension that we looked at, but all you have to do is you navigate to your competition's Twitter account and go to their followers list, so see who's following them, and then auto follow everyone on that page, which is what this tool will do. Or you can go to see who they're following, who your competition is following, and then use this tool to auto follow everyone who they're following. Use other people's bots. So this was like really, like when I discovered this, I was like, I'm going to take advantage of this. So in Edmonton, we talk about Edmonton on Twitter and we use the hashtag YEG. So we talk about YEG. YEG is our airport code. So anything that's related to Edmonton, we write YEG. So YEG music is about Edmonton music. And it was actually someone set up a bot where it will automatically retweet anything that is using the hashtag YEG music. So I decided to play around with it and I was like, this place smells like farts. And then this happened. Edmonton Media, which is the bot, ended up retweeting it. So again, something that you want to be careful with because it's not always like, don't set up a bot like this because obviously you're going to get people like me who will troll it. But if there is something like this set up in your city where it will auto tweet or just tweets everything with a specific hashtag, that's something you could take advantage of. Another app that I really like is called Link Clump. It's a Chrome extension. Basically, what it does is it lets you open, copy, or bookmark multiple links at the same time. So what you do is log into your LinkedIn account, and you know how you can see when connections have viewed you? What you do is you log into your LinkedIn account, and then you go to Google, you search for a specific job title or some sort of keyword that is in someone's LinkedIn profile. So maybe your ideal audience is other digital marketers. So you look for digital marketer or technical SEO analyst or something like that, or social media strategist. So you look that up, and then you use link clump to draw a box around all of the results. And then what it does, it will open up all of those links in separate tabs. So then all those people will be like, oh, this person viewed me. Who is this person? So it's a really easy way to view a whole bunch of LinkedIn profiles at a time. But if you reach the data security limit on your profile views, your LinkedIn account will indicate that you're likely using LinkedIn for commercial use, like hiring, prospecting, or scraping, and you will temporarily be unable to view profiles. So I think the limit is you can view 99 profiles a day or something similar to that, or maybe it's a bit less. Once you hit that limit, they'll be like, you're using it for the wrong reasons. Like, why are you viewing so many things? And then you have to wait another 24 hours before you can view more profiles. So just a little tidbit on the limits and restrictions that LinkedIn actually puts with their users for viewing other profiles. I wanted to include product placement as this. It's not really like a hack or tip or a trick. It's more of just like using the users or the audience's subconscious to get them to notice things without noticing them, or subconsciously connecting things. So here, for example, is a cool dude snowboarding. What is a product being promoted on this Instagram post? Is it the snowboard? Is it the snowsuit, ski resort? Wait, he's snowboarding, but he's listening to music. That's kind of cool. Like, he's listening to music while snowboarding, and there's no cord from his headphones. It's actually the Bose Wireless Freedom Campaign promoting their SoundLink line. So this is an older line of Bose headphones. Bose headphones, BOSE headphones. And you can see that it's not just like a static image of just the headphones or a stock image of the headphones. It's getting creative, and the headphones aren't even front and center in the photo. The snowboard is, but it's just this user subconscious that it's like, oh, he's snowboarding, he's using headphones, they're not connected to anything. So it's like really like super suave, like your product's not front and center, but it's still in the frame, it's still there, and the user or the audience member will make that connection in their mind. Wanting to output a cat on it or in a box. GNC, they're a Canadian brand. They're known for health, wellness, and sports nutrition. This post actually got a lot more engagement than their others. So this post, for example, had about 1,000 likes, 40 comments, while other photos posted around the same time averaged 300 to 600 likes and 10 to 20 comments. So it basically doubled their engagement rate for this post. So this is more casual product placement where people aren't desensitized to this yet, surprisingly. So they're disarmed and they're receptive to it. Their guard is down, and so they're receptive to receiving this as a brand, like not an ad per se, but like a brand message. Whereas like the focus is on the cat, obviously, but it's in a GNC box. This is another way where you can align your company with other brands, even if you're kind of not at the same level as them, I guess you could say. So this is an ad, surprisingly and awkwardly, for a menstrual cup, the Diva Cup. It shows other goods by other companies as props to show the campus essentials, so school essentials. So for example, in this photo, you have a Rubbermaid bottle, a Topshop purse, EOS or EOS lip balm, EOS lip balm, which is like that little round thing at the bottom corner there, and a Bando agenda. Casually placed within them is the Diva Cup. So it's a network of similar brands that are aligning themselves with these other successful brands. So you got to think, like, did Topshop like this post? Did they like it? Did they share it? Did people who are interested in Topshop, because there is that Topshop purse? Did they see it cruising the Topshop hashtag? Did they do people who like water bottles, did they like this? Like, did it appeal to them? Did it suck them in? And as you can see, like the Diva cup is in that pouch. You don't actually see the menstrual cup, but it is a Diva cup pouch. But it kind of is like, these are essential. Like everyone has all of these things, or like people like these popular things, and Diva cup kind of aligns within that space as well. I hope that made sense. And then this is another one, how to make a mini garden, from Starbucks Canada on Twitter. So why is Starbucks tweeting about mini gardens? Is it a tweet for K-Cups? What are they promoting? Are they promoting K-Cups, Keurigs? But actually they're promoting Starbucks K-Cups. So you can see the logo on the label in the very back here. It's kind of blurry. You can barely see it. They're giving a DIY tip, which would be perfect for the Pinterest crowd, but also it's kind of like subliminal messaging, because people are always like, K-Cups are so bad. Like people don't recycle them, or you can't recycle them, and there's so many environmental issues around them. But then Starbucks is kind of spinning it, being like, oh, you can actually use the coffee grounds as fertilizer. So this post is very on trend, like the lifestyle posts that you see on Instagram, and it's overlapping content that would serve them well on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Twitter, that type of thing. And here's some tips that you can do right away. So there's a tool called Media Helper. I really like this tool. It's not so much a hack or a trick, but if you wanted to save someone's video, or you wanted to save someone's Instagram photo, what you can do is you can install a Chrome app called Media Helper, and there's also an app on Firefox for this as well. Basically, all you do is you go to the Instagram page where you want to save the photo, you click on the post, and then it will pop up. And then when you hover over the image, this little pink button will show up, and you just have to click that and you can save it to your desktop. This is just really easy. Like if you are managing your company's social media and you're looking to use user-generated content, but you don't want to have that ugly repost tag within the image that's automatically embedded when you do that. This is a quick way to do it. And then much like the YouTube subscribe URL, when some people are like, oh, I have a YouTube channel, click here. And then when you go to their YouTube channel, it will say like, subscribe. Do you want to subscribe? And it's just like a pop-up. There's actually a Twitter URL you can use for that way too. So right now, if you wanted to, you could go to your business's website and edit the Twitter URL so they're this. And all you have to do is replace my screen name with your screen name at the end of it. And then when users click on that, they'll actually end up having this. So they're more likely to follow because they're presented with a call to action right when they land on the Twitter account. Also using Quora, this is kind of an older tactic, but it still works. Quora is kind of like a Q&A, like Yahoo Ask. Do you guys remember Yahoo? Do people still use Yahoo? You basically find questions with little to no answers, but lots of followers or views. Apparently it helps with SEO as well. So you basically create a blog post, or you answer the question and link it to that blog post on your website, or you just answer the question and your name and your title will appear next to it. Basically what you're doing is you're just providing value, and if there's no answers for it, but there's a ton of views on it or followers who are following the question, you'll be seen as one of the more authoritative people, and more likely people are to click on your name or to click on that link to go to the blog post. So remember, when using these, not all of them are ethical. Like they will break terms and regulations of specific platforms, especially the ones where you're like viewing a bunch of profiles or liking or following a bunch of people. Get creative enough to think outside the box. But basically what this shows is like, you don't be afraid to do something unique and different from everyone else. Like everyone else is kind of doing the same strategies and tactics and doing the same thing, like implementing best practices. I'm not saying don't implement best practices. I'm just saying, like, in addition to best practices, there's other ways that you can be kind of playing around and gaming the system. But again, you want to be careful. So test it out on your own personal profiles, and it's up to you if you want to use them on your client profiles or your own business profiles. That's all I have for you guys today. Again, really short. Thank you so much to Crawl Air for having me. If you do want to contact me, if you have questions or anything like that, let me know. My contact info is at the bottom of this slide. Thanks again, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of Crawl Air. Bye.